always had it made. Tell somebody or really feel for somebody who is, who's poor. He said, it's almost like having somebody like your daughter tells you, "Hey, Daddy, I'm hungry." Okay, well, just go get some to eat. You know what I mean? It's like a simplistic decision upon a complicated, complex problem. Oh well, we having too many illegal immigrants. Just build a wall. Da, 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 you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool and refreshing to see a foreigner's perspective on how what we looked like. You know what I mean? In terms of Trump winning the presidency.
We look stupid.
It was amazing to me. I said, so for you to have the whole world looking at you crazy like that, it's not a black and white thing anymore. Nor has it really has ever been, but people can peg it like that and position it like that. But when you have the entire world looking at you crazy like that, I mean,
yeah,
it's telling.
It's sort of embarrassing. It's not even just, they're looking at us crazy. Like, I am personally embarrassed when I see him on television, right? Setting his views aside and setting his politics aside, the fact that he is the president and the way he comports himself, I find in a lot of ways demoralizing. Like, I cannot believe that anybody thought that this was a good idea, let alone 60 plus million people, right? Let alone having him actually be elected. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's disheartening, but I'm sort of concerned that what we're seeing isn't actually necessarily productive. Like, I understand people's anger and outrage, but like, I don't want to see it sort of break out into violence because I'm not sure where that leads us. And again, like, protest. I think protesting is perfectly acceptable. Like, that's exactly what people should be doing. But when property is destroyed and people are threatened, that's when things tend to go south, and that's how we can be discredited, right? Then we become sort of simply anarchists and lawbreakers, right? And then they get to institute sort of law and order. They can get to crack down and start cracking skulls, right? So I'd like to see us sort of stay in our lane, make sure we're protesting, make sure we're holding them accountable, but sort of be mindful of where that line is, right? If we veer too far across it, we don't necessarily get what it is we seek. So that's my.
No, I mean, I don't
two
think that's
cents.
the way to go about it, but I totally understand the sentiment.
Oh, absolutely,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
It's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand the sentiment, but that's not the way. Like, I hope after Big Sean got the phone and he called his senator and told him to vote against Betsy DeVos. You know what I mean? Like, or Betty, what the fuck her name is, but
Yeah, that's
at least I get a damn gun to carry to school because Grizzlies.
yeah, because Grizzlies. You have Grizzlies in Atlanta,
attacks.
right? Grizzlies are
So
a
you
constant
guys got to
problem.
make
Grizzly attacks are for real.
for people who don't know who you guys are talking about. You got to kind of go into depth for who that person is. What did she say?
Nominated
Was it
for
related?
she was Trump's pick for the Secretary of Education. She's
Oh, okay.
never been in public schools. Her children have never gone to public schools. As a matter of fact, she wants to defund public schools, and so she's not an advocate of public education. And she's his pick for Secretary of Education.
Yep.
And she didn't know like basic laws that we have to know. That teachers have to know. Just not and not even really like in-depth stuff like what principals have to know, but just like basic stuff she didn't know. But she's
Wow.
his pick. It's really kind of disrespectful.
Right.
That,
Well, she's a billionaire.
this
Like,
man-
billionaires do what the
right.
fuck they want, essentially.
But
Absolutely.
that's for me. Like I thought as I was getting older, I wasn't really voting. Like always looking at stuff along party lines. That's what I said. Like if John Kasich had won, like I would have voted for him. But I probably would have voted for him. But looking at the Republicans and see how they don't give a fuck. If they go party lines until the ship is sinking. They don't care.
Yeah, like
So it's really hard
you can actually nominate the devil, and
they'll
vote
go
for him.
with it.
Well, the
Yep.
devil, like
Right.
like Lucifer, he's all right. He's good.
Right.
He's
So
He's a
it's hard to
Republican.
take
He's a solid
them-
Republican.
It's hard to take them seriously. I don't see how in this day and age you can be an independent. I think you got to pick a side because it's very clear. Like, Republicans aren't, they're just party. I think Democrats are trying to, I don't know what the fuck Democrats are trying to do, but Republicans are just party. I don't see how you can be an independent today.
The problem is the Democrats have been so historically soft it's sometimes like as much as you might agree with them, sometimes it's hard to back them because one, they have no internal cohesion, and they're soft, right? So even the thing with DeVos and with the nominee for the Supreme Court, like they're not going to hold it together, right? They're gonna end up voting for, what's the Supreme Court nominee's name?
Gosher, some shit like that.
It's like he's going to end up getting in, even though that seat was stolen from Obama, right? They should really make it a point to say, you know what, fuck that. That seat is ours, and you can have it, but you got to pry it from our cold dead hands, right?
But I don't understand, like, just obstruct. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, the Republicans were saying, you know, oh, they're going against the country, they obstruct. Y'all did that shit for 8 years. 8 fucking years.
And you just did it. It's not like this is a long time ago, right? Like, this is like,
and it was so disrespectful to President Obama. Like, I was watching this special at the end of his presidency, and they were saying how he consistently opened up the White House to them, invited them to barbecues. These motherfuckers never went. And so now here the Democrats have the opportunity to have a backbone and get some payback, because fuck it, it is what it is, and they won't. Like, I'm over it. But I wouldn't vote for a Republican. But you need some young people. You know, you need young people in the Democratic Party with a voice that's like, fuck that shit. And like, they don't have that, you know, but they need some young folks.
I mean, they have a few. So, what's his name? Cory.
Yeah. Cory Booker.
Booker from New Jersey, right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure why Cory Booker didn't run in 2016, and I'm also not sure why he wasn't on the ticket. I think there's some speculation that there might be some issues with, let's call them his relationships, right? Let's
really?
Yeah.
He gay?
I don't know. That's pure speculation.
Right. That would have worked for him,
right.
if he gay.
That doesn't really work in the black community. You know how I mean? You know what I mean? Like, black folks still continue to be pretty homophobic, right?
Which is hilarious, because like every minister of music in the black church gay.
Yeah, every single one of them. Not
seriously.
Minister of music.
Without question.
Every dude playing that damn organ, directing the damn choir is gay.
That nigga gay.
And we know it. For real, that nigga gay.
You're not gay. My brother's gay.
And we know it. Seriously.
Brother's gay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that we went a little bit long on that one.
Yeah, because we started talking about Trump. So
Trump sort of sucks all the oxygen out of the room. He has
does.
Trumps again.
That ability. It trumps everything.
He's not a good person.
Dude, not even, like, I'm sure there have been a lot of presidents who are not good people. Like, this guy.
Yeah, Nixon wasn't a good person.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know anything. Like, it's like the random blowhard in the bar ends up being president. Like, the guy who just talks shit just incessantly, like, always has something to say,
right?
But doesn't know fucking anything.
Right, like the dude when you go to a fight party, be talking about everything that's happening and don't know shit about boxing.
Right. And it's just,
you should fuck up.
And it's just loud, like, and it's like, and like this subject verb
saying
agreement in the sentences, but nothing else makes sense. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's a slap in the face, really.
I mean, it's
really
scary that we had so many people who felt like that was a good idea. Like I said, that's the thing that concerns me. Right? Oh my goodness.
That's Fox News.
Oh yeah, that's
Fox News.
That's a show unto itself.
The democracy of this country, like, straight up.
Yeah, if we can't have, like, so what happens is, like, we have one side of our electorate who gets their news from Fox, right?
Right.
And as a consequence, there's half of our elected officials who can do shit with very little consequence, right? It's because Fox News is not going to hold the Republicans accountable for anything.
Right.
Right. So,
or they'll give a reason.
Yeah, it'll be some rationale, right? So they know they can get away with almost murder, right? They can actually go out and fucking kill somebody. Isn't that what Trump said? He can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and still get elected.
He did.
That might be true.
Kidding.
There might be some truth to that, right?
Well, his wife is still in New York. I know we're getting way off topic. What we're going to talk about. So fuck Trump.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to end it.
That is it.
There you go. Exclamation
Segue that.
point. Right. So no, I think
Segue
that the segue is so we have the sort of the Trump versus John Lewis Super Bowl coming up, right? So
basically.
the Patriots have a lot of linkages, a lot of ties to Trump, and the Atlanta Falcons are in John Lewis's district, right? So let's talk about the Falcons. And more specifically, let's talk about Michael Vick's letter to Atlanta, right? His 4,300 word letter to Atlanta. Who wants to start with this letter?
Like you want to go?
Bueller.
Give us more detail, Chad,
Bueller.
in terms of what do you perspective on the letter, because it's just a letter.
No, so he it was essentially like a love letter,
Atlanta.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how much he sort of appreciated the fans, and how much love he got from the city, and essentially it's his city in some way. 4,300 words. So like a single page is like 200 words. So he wrote a 20-page letter. So if you get a 20-page letter in the mail, you're like, fuck, like what what is this? Like imagine he wrote it out on notebook paper. with the little
this is not right, man.
with the little jagged ass things at the end where you just snatch it out the notebook.
Bro, why are you doing that to that man?
He just got a raw deal.
But I don't know. I think it's fine. In all seriousness, I think the content of the letter was sort of heartfelt and earnest. Like we use the word earnest here a lot, but like I felt like it was a solid letter. I think I appreciated it because he didn't have to. His feelings could be much different about the city given the way he left it. Right? It could have been sour grapes. And it wasn't. He seems to have fully embraced the city, and the city has embraced him.
Right.
I think that the city always just loved Vic. I think that, we talked about this once before in the show, but it's exciting that we're in the Super Bowl right now, but it's still that excitement that when Vic was here, I don't know if we'll have that again. Not to say anything against the team that we have now, but when Vic played for the Falcons, we were on Monday Night Football like 3 or 4 times. Like no one does that, right? So when they would go to other stadiums, he put asses in the seats.
Yeah.
Because he was an exciting player to watch.
Right.
And to have that as your home team, that was a shit. And I think really for black folks, it meant a lot. And Atlanta is one of the few fan bases where you have so many black people, right? So when you look at the stadium, the Georgia Dome, well, now Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but the Georgia Dome, it's black. It's like really interracial. Like you don't see that other fan bases. The only other fan bases that was like there was New Orleans until Hurricane Katrina and all the niggas had to go. But what Vic meant to Atlanta is what he meant to black people. To see this black man down there excelling in this position that was traditionally white. And then I'm not comparing him to Obama, but I will compare it to the idea of you feeling like you had to take up for him, because there were always those naysayers who said that he wasn't a true quarterback, and that just was because he was black. Because if Peyton Manning could move like Vic, you know what I mean, then his face would be on Mount Rushmore.
True. Right.
And honestly, he was young, so he was still young, and he was still learning the position. He didn't have time. Like he went to jail in his prime.
Yeah.
So it's no telling what he could have been had that not happened.
He really didn't have the opportunity to develop into a full, well-rounded quarterback, right?
Right. And when he first got here, Dan Reeves didn't know what to do with him. He was like, "Shit, just do what you do." Like he did not know what to do with Vic, and you could tell, which was fine because they would win because the NFL hadn't seen anything like that, But he didn't have. You don't know what he could have been. He could have morphed into that passer. A legit passer, and somebody that could move as well. Like we didn't get to see that.
Like a solid game manager with a strong arm and legs. Yeah.
Right. If he had a line, he never fucking had a line either. He was fucking running for his life.
I'm a firm believer if Vic actually if he had discipline like Peyton Manning, he would probably be the best quarterback ever played the game.
Right. He didn't have the opportunity though.
Yeah, I never like comparing people to Peyton Manning though. I don't think that's. I never think that's actually fair. But go ahead, make your point.
I guess to you guys' point, Vic readily admitted that he didn't take his position seriously because he had all that super talent. And when he won a game, it was just like, okay, I won a game. I didn't really have to put any effort into it. So when you don't have to put effort into it and you have to put practice to it, it just comes naturally easy. And you rely on that until he started to focus on other different things.